Hello, everybody, and welcome back to All Night Gaming. We are back, and we are again under construction. Today, we are working on something for the Muppets, because apparently we don't have any Muppet stuff in our inventory, so we're going to change that here today. And give me a second here while we fire something else up here. There we go, to get us in the feeling here. We've got Boba Fett helping us with the build here. We'll go full screen. And here's where we're at so far. May look a little bit familiar. We're going to do some work on the gate in this back area here, where a famous bird used to hang out back in the old days before he got his own place. Trash can, that's going to have a resident before we're all said and done. The three-story residence of many of the members and people that live and occupy Sesame Street. This is the back recreation area. Mr. Hooper's store. I think they may have renamed it, but it was always Mr. Hooper's store back in the day, even after he passed. And then we just come down to the end of Sesame Street. So we got some more building to do. I'll show you some of the basics of what's gone on here. To get the porch to look right, we definitely use the path creator to sink down the stairs quite a bit. And then we've got the two walls that also attach to the path creator to get them to pretty much the right height. Other than that, everything's going to be pretty self-explanatory, but we're not done. We're going to be doing more stuff with this, and I thought now would be a good time to start jumping in to the under construction portion of this build. Otherwise, the beginning is kind of just plain Jane stuff, and that tends to be a little bit on the boring side. So now that you can get a little bit of a sight for what we're doing, if you wanted to recreate this yourself, you could do that, or I can promise you that in the not-too-distant future, this will be available for you to download yourself. Whatever system you're on, it won't matter. This is on the PlayStation. It's what I'm working off of, but no matter what your situation is, you'll be able to use it. All right, so that said, we're going to do some stuff here. I've got a path creator I put down here, which is going to be for another shorter wall. These, unfortunately, do not attach, and I may end up replacing them with something that does. So let's jump in and see what our options look like. Periodically, you may indeed hear a bell going off in the background. I don't turn off my phone because I've got messages and stuff that I actually have to get a hold of. I wish I could spend all day just gaming with no other responsibilities, but it's just not the way it works. Okay, let's come over here, and we're looking for the wall. Let me bring the volume up as well so we have a little bit of background music there. It's not the exciting stuff, but yeah, now. All right, I'm looking for wood blocks, because we can always theme that. And here's a short wall. And it's a little taller too, so I'm definitely going to replace it. Let's go like this. Let's go ahead and see. There's that one, but I'm hoping for something else. That'll work, though, if I have to. Well, let's see what else we got here. The simulated wood there isn't bad either. This is probably going to be the winner. Well, maybe not. That actually looks too plastic. And it's not as the right color scheme either. Right now, this is the winner here. But was it this one, or was it... Hold on a minute. Tough call. You can go either way. But I think, for me, I'm probably going to end up with that one. Let's just go check real quick and see if there's anything else out there. Asgard, new. Definitely not going to go concrete. Now, we actually are going to do something different for the part that's going to attach to that creator, because in my reference material, and granted, I'm going back to reference material from the 70s, but that's the theme I'm going for anyway, so. And I know that it's meant to be because it was a tour of Sesame Street conducted by Darth Vader himself, James Earl Jones. So if that didn't scream Disney Infinity, I don't know what does. This is what I'll end up going with. Matter of fact, while we're here, that's going to be for the... Might as well just place it in there. Oh. Let's try again. New path creator. Pretty sure I turned it off. We'll find out in a minute. I did. Okay. Now what we're going to have to do is situate this thing a little bit. Properties. Go to our toy box path. I think the forward backward should be that. Nope. There we go. And out of fun, let me see. Yeah, I think it's got to stay there. And that's it. We're going to end up having to move some of this other stuff around too, but I knew I was going to do that. So let's start. We'll grab these. Path creator as well. Connect them. And now basically the same thing. We're just going to move them where we need them to be. How's that looking? That's perfect. And it's all snugged up against the building too, which is nice. I'm going to leave those there. So there's a bunch of debris back here, although I'm not going to need these two guys. This is actually going to suffice. Again, we'll go to our path creator and attach it there. Go to our properties. And again, this is the area where Big Bird would hang out. And here's where we're going to have to probably jump out and just re-grab it. And these things get a little funny. Ooh. That's what we want right there. So we got the bricks coming through. This we might just be able to... maybe not. Or do I even need that? You know what? We don't need this one. That's the look we're going for right there. Alright, now we're going to try... Let me see something. Yep. I was pretty sure this would work. So we're going to attach these guys. Again, using a path creator. And you always want to make sure you turn it off unless you want things moving. So first thing we do, basically turn it into an anchor. Another thing I can do here is actually bring this up higher so it won't have the two objects colliding. They will be colliding in a moment, but not in the beginning. New path creation. That's interesting. Oh, it's because it's on. Got it. Let's see if we can get away with this. Yeah, this will work. So what we're going to do, get rid of that. Get rid of that. And just put it down again, because it's... Once I back out and load back in, it would be fine, but rather than mess with all that, I'm just going to put a new one in. So what I should have done in the first place is just add it up top there. This way they won't be colliding while I'm trying to grab a hold of it. Properties again, we're going to turn it off. And then we'll come back over here and grab that. New path connection, and now it should be fine. There you go. Now all we want to do is bring it down a notch so that they're connecting like an actual scaffold would instead of just floating in the air like that. So vertical should be the trick. Yep. And now we have the ability to jump from there to there. And it looks like a proper scaffolding. Voila! Welcome those of you that are watching us on Twitch. Oh man, that was so not what I wanted to see happen. Okay. Shoot. Decorations. Gameplay. All the way back here. I think it was under decorations. I'm almost positive. What do we got going on here? Oh, that's funny. Just got a good idea. An opportunity to make Mrs. Piggy's ship. I don't know if I'm going to be able to tie it into this particular build, but it's definitely something to look at doing. Pigs in space. Pigs in space. All right, back to looking for... I'm pretty sure it's under decorations. Could be under one of the city builds also. But I feel like decorations. Yeah, it's got to be right in this area here. Delicate little thing. Holy cow, I barely touched it. As always, I'd like to welcome you to a frog-free environment, even though it's called Kermit on the Run. I generally like animals, most animals. There's a few that I'm not big fans of. You know, snakes, for example, kind of like Indiana Jones there. I don't do snakes. And there's just something about frogs I don't really care for. So there will be no frogs here, I can tell you right now. If you don't like frogs, you're in the right place. All right, maybe I am not in the right ribbon. Oh, I was also looking for if there is a street sign. Well, that's close, but might have to suffice actually right now. I'm not sure. I haven't seen anything better. Let me see. Do we have a street sign, like a city street sign? I know it's not going to say Sesame Street, although that would have been so cool. close. Really thought there was a city street sign, but I favorite these. What the heck for? Might have used those things 3 times ever. Yeah, I guess it's not here after all. Alright, so we're going to have to go back to the city ribbon, I guess. Which, there it is right there. Dun, 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 dun. Alright, note to self. Don't do that again. Oh, there's some more scaffolding. I bet you these probably didn't need all that extra energy put into them, but that's alright. I do want the fire escapes, which I think is going to be back this way. And we're also going to want to lay down the street here in a little bit. Fire escape. Should be here, I think. That's the wonderful thing about Disney Infinity. The things that make sense, like, you know, all these high-rise buildings and everything, kind of ties in with fire escapes, and you would imagine that would be where you'd find them, and then all of a sudden you don't find it there, and you find it some absolutely other location that makes no sense at all. I was going to say, it's got to be, so we got these, but I want the actual fire escape. Are you kidding me? Come on. It's got to be here. Did I pass it? By the way, I do need some of this stuff for the buildings. This is going to be, I'm thinking 2 different things that I might be able to tie both of them in here. One of them is a collection game. That's the main thing. We're collecting the clues to find Kermit, who's on the run. And then the other thing is going to be a memory game. Kind of like the thing you used to do with the cards, where you had to turn one card over and then another and then remember where they're at and then match them up later. So it's going to be kind of like that as well. I haven't quite figured out all the logic on that. And I'm sure we'll end up having to use a logic gate, which is not my strong suit. But I like to challenge myself. I mean, these will obviously work and do the trick. By the way, how are these things shaped that way for? Guess you could do it like that. And maybe on some of these I'll do this. But for the most part, I'm looking for the other one that actually looks like a fire escape. So we'll put a couple of them there. But now it's all to find the fire escape. We can also use some climbing poles for certain areas. So those 2 things can work together. You jump onto the ledge, and then from there you can jump onto that. We'll put one of the fire escapes there so you can jump from one fire up the pole to the fire escape, hopefully. Then jump from the fire escape over to the pole to get to the rest of the way to the top. Papa H in the house. Button press things with 4 patterns in it. I will have to experiment with those. I've got a lot of the logic that I've never used any of the preset logic. I don't think I have anyway. Maybe in the very early days. But I generally make all my own logic. But you might be onto something. There might be something already set there that I need to look at that'll save a ton of time. And I'm all about that. All right. Papa H, where am I going to find the real fire escapes? Could it be under... Oh, could it be this? No, I don't think so. Platforming is my next guess. But why wouldn't it have been with the city stuff? It just makes no sense at all to me. Oh, that's massive. I swear I thought I was like, oh man, I could have used that for the front door instead. And if I didn't have the Halloween theme, that would have worked. But I'm good with the one we got. Fire escapes. Nope, not there. Could be, but I don't think it is. Nothing about this fits the theme. The city fire escapes. Why am I having trouble locating that? No, it's not going to be there. It's not going to be there. All right, let's go. Buildings, possibly. It doesn't make any sense, though, because they should be just like it says, buildings. That could actually work. Nothing to do with the problem I'm currently facing, but at least this will give it a little bit of a personality. What else we got in here? I think there's a storefront feel to it anyway. Do need something for the front of this one, so. And we might throw something on this one as well and then call that a day. All right, Sesame Street coming to life now. Decorations. I did decorations. It's not there. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. If it's there, I missed it twice. And I thought it would be under the city one, too, and I must be missing it. I'm going to go back one more time. Because I don't think it's going to be under platforming. I just don't imagine it would be. Which is why I'm going to check it right now. Because otherwise, it's probably there the whole time and I'm looking in the wrong place. But you and I are thinking the same way. I mean, I'm thinking exactly what you were saying. Ooh. Let me throw one of these up here. This would be a way to help traverse the map. And we can definitely use a replayer for that. It'll just be easier to find if it's already there. And also remind me to use it. Alright, so no, it's not there under platforming. It's not going to be under gameplay. It's not going to be under quick save toys. Alright, let's go back to city again. Try it again. I don't know how it's there and I'm not seeing it. But stranger things have happened. Let's see. Plants. Basic blocks. So I did decorations. Group 1 is not going to be it, right? That's not city. Let me just scroll quickly through. We got in and out. You got Ewok stuff here, and I think that's about it. Yeah, there's not going to be anything there. And this is where I would expect it to be. Like I said, maybe I somehow scrolled past it. Let me go a little slower. I mean, you got everything here except what I'm looking for. Got the bricks, damage. Tomorrowland. Mercy. You got the buildings. Again, it makes no sense. It wouldn't be here with all of these things that fit the theme. And this would be exactly where I would expect it to be, is these areas that can attach to the building walls. That would make sense, wouldn't it? What's this one? That's Star-Lord? I don't know if I've ever paid attention to this before. Hold on a minute. Oh, it's not Star-Lord. It is Marvel, though, so not off by a mile. And we're back. I don't get it. How can it not be here? And more importantly, where the heck do I have to look for it? That's insane. All right, let's try this. Maybe it's under this stuff. Got Wild West going that way. We'll go back this way, I think, if it's going to be here. Oh, and I do need some other stuff, too, over here. This is what happens. I jump around a little bit. Maybe this is where a street sign might show up. And maybe not. Well then. Last chance, but this is residential stuff. I'm a little surprised if it turns up in this, but hey, whenever anything else fails... cottages and things like that. I don't see it being a connecting piece to any of that. Man, how is it not with the cities? And then we got the farm, and we're back to the houses. So, not there. It's not going to be on the Star Wars stuff. I cannot imagine it's going to be under this. But since we haven't scrolled through all of it, it can be frustrating sometimes. Not gonna lie. What would be, could be, should be. Marvel or Incredibles, you think? Give me a second here, because while I'm not finding what I am looking for, occasionally I'll find something else and go, oh, that'd be good, though. It's not going to be under that. Definitely won't be under that. And I feel like I've already scrolled through all of this, but I'm going to do one more time. This is buildings. It just feels to me like this is not where you're going to find some little add-on piece. Although, wondering if one of these buildings might not be... just to change up the look a little bit, maybe, but I don't know. Nah, I'm going to stick with what I got. Sports toys, definitely not. Racetrack, not. Platforming, I think we just scrolled through all this, too. Again, these are the things that would make the most sense. It's an object that you should be climbing on, in theory. Therefore, you would think platforming might be an option for it, but no. Game toys? I can't imagine. Again, if you checked everything else... We'll be using all those later. Creativity toys are definitely not a template. Oh, the template, though, we can see about what you were talking about. Double octave keyboard. I was actually thinking about the possibility of doing a Sesame Street theme, but I don't know that I've got that in me. I'm going to give it a... I'm going to set it down. I've never used this ever, but if I was going to, this would be the build that I would want to use it for. So we'll put that down, and we may explore that a little bit later on. That's all put together, isn't it? Stitch enemy door piece. Random vehicle, weather, remote control. What was this? That's kind of cool. Rail switch target piece. It's an interesting concept. I could have used that on my last build. Rail switch. Mountain peak terrain. Didn't even know that was in there. I feel so stupid. What we got going on here? Wow. Need to pay closer attention to some of these extras. In the templates, I don't think I've ever used the templates for anything. And now I'm looking at all this stuff saying, I can do stuff with that. Mountain ledge terrain. See, like something like this could work for this particular toy box. I just don't like the aesthetic. I think my next build is going to be featuring a bunch of template stuff. I'm going to put a bunch of different stuff in and make it interact. Townsperson text greeter, custom greeter. Well, that probably doesn't work anymore. Mission creator, path coaster. Kind of used that in my last one, which will be released in the not too distant future. The piano toy. Oh, that, yes. I will definitely be doing some research on that, presuming that there's video up there, because on my own, no, that's not going to happen. But I can kind of peck out a couple of notes here and there, and I know I'm going to need a metronome, I guess, to keep the rhythm moving at the right pace. I used to read and write music way back in the day. My dad played violins and still does play violins. Now he's at the point where he builds them in his old age. So I grew up with music in the house. I played a couple of instruments, nothing exciting. I ended up being the last guy standing in the flute section of the band, which wasn't bad because I was surrounded by some pretty girls. my friends decided that instrument wasn't cool enough. There was 3 of us that started playing the flute, and then the other 2 decided, no, I got to go to trumpet or drums, man. That's not cool. And I'm like, okay, I get to sit next to Wendy with nobody else in between us. I'm cool with that. Wave battle kit, paintball, combat, smash and bash. This one I think I did use on one of my very earliest ever builds. Actually, my very first build. I'm almost positive I used this. Tunnel Battle Arena Game. Say again? Mercy, this actually looks cool. Again, I'm going to mess around with a bunch of these, I think. Because there's a lot of... If nothing else, it'll give a lot of ideas to see how they did what they did. I just want to pick apart the logic a bit. What is happening with this? Mount race game. So I guess we're on horses. I don't see any logic tied to it. Oh, there it is, way down there. Okay. Random platformer. Collector. Well, why is this thing so dang big? My deck is not working right now. I'll have to check on that later. Stunt park game. That could be fun. Western Wrangler, Ultimate Soccer, red light, green light. Damn, that could be fun too. King of the Hill. A lot of really cool ideas here. I guess I should have spent a little more time messing around in here. If nothing else, just to pick apart the logic. Pinball. Bouncy bot. Collection. Clashing Armies. So I'm not seeing anything here with a memory game tied to it, though. Stunt Park. Easy Pinball. Treasure Defense. Fireworks Plate. Flaming Hoopy. And the good thing about these, as I'm looking at this stuff, it's like I've done this before, but I made all my own logic for it. Whereas this probably would save you a ton of time just to lay this thing down and then move it wherever you want it. Flaming Hoops piece. Super Launch. Effects Creator. Defeat Effects. Mega Science Fair. Because a regular science fair just wouldn't work. Bowtie Guys in the house as well. Hey, it's a Thursday reunion. How's everybody doing? By the way, we got soccer today, don't we? Or football, depending where you're at. And not too far away either, like an hour and a half from now. Am I right? There's another reason why soccer is never going to be America's #1 game, because in our sports, when you lose, you lose. That's it. There's only one winner. England today has got a game to see if they're going to be 3rd or 4th place. You don't think it's been attempted before, so I'm not going to hype it until I know it works. What are we talking about now? Hold on a minute. The Secret Castle Project. Okay, now you got me curious. 2-player door piece. Ballot box door piece. Color plate piece. Pressure plate. Yeah, again, this would be something that's usable for sure. Time challenge. Time and score piece. Even this stuff, I think this would save a ton of time. Just having this limited lives. 2-on-2 challenge creator. Awards. End game sequence. Path-based target camera. Target camera piece. Angled camera. Bird's eye camera. Side step camera. Replayer. Everybody's favorite tool. The kiln. Sidekick door. Closet. Townsperson. Asgard. And now we're back to the beginning. All right. Yeah, there's definitely some stuff in here that I will be messing with in the not too distant future. Working on your Spanish? Well, work on it quick, because when you come to Florida, half the state speaks Spanish. Nah, I mean, you'll be perfectly fine. Don't worry about it. Why is my... Holy cow, why am I tied up that much logic? I haven't done anything in this thing. Is it that stupid keyboard? Because that'll go then. If that thing is eating up that much memory, what's going on here? It can't be just from buildings. I've built much bigger cityscapes than this. I wonder how much. Well, you know what? Let's find out. Oh, you can't even delete it as one piece. You gotta delete them individually. Okay. Oh, wait. Or no, maybe you can. Hold on. Okay, you can. Now let's see what... Wow! Dadgum, that's a lot of memory, boys and girls. All right. Well, now that I know what it is, I mean, if it ends up becoming an issue, I'll just get rid of it. But for right now, I don't have a ton of logic left to use up. Or memory, I should say, to use up. And I'll probably delete that anyway. I don't imagine I'm going to learn that thing well enough to make it worth adding in. Meantime, we're still looking for... All right, let's go. We're on filter left. Toy origin. Pirates, Brave, Marvel. Let's check under Marvel, shall we? And even if I find it here, I want to know where the heck it was. We're under Marvel, looking for the stupid fire escape. Haven't used this dude in a while. Fire escape, fire escape, fire escape. Why that wouldn't have been with the city pieces. Look how much time I'm wasting just trying to find this one stupid item. Because they couldn't put it in a logical location. Of course, what do you expect? This is the same company that canceled the best game they ever made. Okay, it's not there under Marvel. It's not going to be under Escape from the Kiln. It shouldn't be under Guardians. I'm going to check. I'd be like really upset if it was. Starfoil. Thinking about for a different toy box that I'm also working on. That's going to take longer, though. That's going to be a 3 toy box. It's going to be one of my bigger storyline missions. And no, it's not under Guardians. I didn't think it would be. Spider-Man, possibly. He's got the city thing going on. But again, if it is there, what was it under prior? But let's first locate it, and then we can debate all that other crap later. Have we gone through everything once already? I think we have. Yes, we have. Not under Spider-Man. It's not under Stitch. I already know that. Definitely not under Force Awakens. Inside Out, no. I mean, some of this stuff fits the theming, but I don't imagine Toy Box Speedway. I mean, at this rate, I'm going to save this. I'm going to go to another Toy Box level that I know has it and just select it to see what the heck it's at. It's insane. Twilight, no. Cars, no. Toy Story. Avengers? It's a stretch, but again, they got some city stuff here, so... Yeah, that is a massive memory sapper indeed. I had no idea just how bad it was. I'll never look at a toy box the same that has music in it. I think I saw there was one with Indiana Jones, I think, that had the theme song in it. Which now I'm even more... I was impressed in the first place that they pulled that all together, but even more so now. I think we've gone through everything here too now, have we not? Where the heck is this stupid thing? Unbelievable. Takeover. Well, it had some city stuff to it. Doesn't seem logical to me that's where you'd put it, but I think we're throwing logic out the door at this point. Empire, no. No. Incredibles? I can't imagine. I mean, yeah, they had some city stuff, I guess. I might have to jump online and go over to the Ultimate Disney Infinity Guru. Oh, look what I found. What the heck? Under the Incredibles. All right, I want to know what it's under when it's not being filtered. But first, while I have it, it's definitely going to take up more space than I was originally planning on, too. I thought it was a smaller item. Let me see if this is going to work. Drop this over here. Now let's get out of this and go to unfiltered. It's under decorations. How did I not see this stupid thing? Unbelievable. There's a Sesame Street themed area in Port Aventura World in Salou, Spain. I'm not familiar. All right, well, anyway, it was in decorations the whole time, and I swear to God, I looked there at least 3 times. This is larger than the building, though. I can extend the building outward. That's not a problem. Let me get rid of you. Or at least relocate you. How's that? And we'll bring this down here. Okay. I'm wondering, can these be stackable? Not really. No. I mean, you can pot. No, you're not going to be able to even do it that way. There. And this brings us over to here. You can jump and grab that. All right, that's one down. Jeez Louise. Talk about doing things the hard way. We'll go there. This is going to be designed basically for like Phineas and Verb type players. So no like superpowers or flying powers, things like that. I'm not saying I will exclude that from happening, but so far as the concept of the level, not what we're shooting for. All right, I think there's just a couple of those. We got the clouds, which I'm going to work on that next. So maybe not next, but thank you again, Pop H. I appreciate you being here, man. See you soon. Looking forward to it. Okay. I wanted to get the fences taken care of, so let's go back to the wood blocks. This is where I was at earlier when I was distracted. So we already placed that one in, and then there was a couple of different wood options down here. Gingerbread. See, it looks so nice and dark brown on the thumbnail part there, but then you get the game and it doesn't look that way. Simulated wood. Same thing there. That looks very cartoonish compared to the image. So, yeah, I guess at the end of the day, this is the best one. Not exactly the way I want it to look, but maybe the brown bat mod will make it look like an actual wood fence. Oops. I forgot to set the theme, so now we'll just go one at a time. And there we have that. Okay, something else I want to do. We're going to spawn in back here, so let's get our trigger area. I know where that's at. If there's anything I use all the time. Properties. Oh, that's not what I want. Come on, man. What's going on here? New logic connection. Whenever entered by player any. I want this to be closed. And I'm hoping by closed it also means off, but let me see. Yes, okay. Oh, mercy. This little wall piece here. Let's see if we can bring it forward without. Yeah, it does clip out the building. Let me see something. Does this? Oh, I can. This might fix the problem then. Horizontal. Okay. Is it going to keep on putting me behind this building? Forward, backward. Of course. Let's try it with the Sparky and see if that makes a difference. It does not. All right, in that case. Back to properties, path. That works. It's not perfectly lined up with this one, but there's no way to make that really happen. I think even if I were to, let me see. Yeah, even if I were to flip it the other way, it's not going to make a difference. But that works. All right, back over here. There we go. No street sign, huh? That one goofy looking thing down here is the only thing, which again, I'm amazed. I would have thought they would have had a street sign, even if it wasn't like, if it just said Main Street or something like that. I'm actually surprised they didn't add Sesame Street because they really have so little with the Muppets, and they spent all that money on them, and they did put some of the townspeople in as Muppets. All right, next thing we're going to do is get the gate to open, but only when you're standing like right next to it, because this thing opens now when you're halfway into the walkway. It smacks you in the face. And then we're going to lay the street down. So just come over here, grab one of these. Place it over here. And like I said, we're going to just make it a much smaller area. New logic connection, whenever entered by player, any. Open. Another thing we can do. New logic connection, whenever entered, again by any player or player any, is we can kill this one here because that will have already served its purpose. This way you're not walking back into it and triggering things off and on again. There you go. And what we want to do, new logic connection, whenever exited by player, any. Close. So basically it does the exact same thing it did when you put it in there, but on a much smaller radius. I like that. Bam. Because before it would be opening all way over here. And for this, we kind of want it to be a little closer. All right, so we got the back area all set up there. I might throw some more trees in here just to kind of block this area off. I don't know. This is set to go here. So again, this is going to be looking for collectible items that will lead us to Kermit, who's on the run. There's the trash can. Speaking of which, let me take a look at what characters we actually have. I've never really paid that close attention to them, to be honest with you. Gameplay, platform. Mount enemies, sidekicks. We don't want. Hoping it's not the sidekicks. Hold on now. Cast members, character townspeople. Will that be what I'm looking for? These are, as I say, all tied to an existing base character. So probably not this, what we're looking for, I think. Yeah. Alright, let's see what we have in the worlds of Muppets. We got Sailor Chip. Mighty Gitus. You know you've made it when your character's in the game. She-Hulk. You could do a Karate Kid box with that. Inquisitor. Mr. Hooper. That's going to be Mr. Hooper. Let's see if we can get him to cooperate. New actor connection, team connection, path, properties, behavior. Go to sleep for a minute. I will generally put them to sleep, then pick them up, put them where I want them to be, so they're not moving on me. It's just a little bit easier this way, I find it. And then come back here. Properties. Behavior. Jump up, down, left, cheer, disapprove, socialize, wander, angry, stand still. That's what I'm looking for. All right, there's Mr. Hoopa. Hoopa, Big Bird, Hoopa. If you get the reference, it is time to schedule your colonoscopy. See, he's already walking all around, even though I told him to stand still. Why are you not listening to instructions? Some of them do that. It's a little frustrating, I'm not going to lie. I could try tying him to a path grader if that doesn't. You just have him like walking back and forth. We'll see how he does on his own for right now. No, he's gone. He's gone. Mr. Hooper, I had so much hope for you. All right, let's keep looking for the moment. Duffy, Dumbo. Snow White, Seven Dwarfs. There we go. So we got Kermit, of course, Piggy, Fozzie, Animal. Is that it? I thought we had more than that. All right. Well, they're all going to get an opportunity to be in this one. And some of them do behave properly, and other ones do what Mr. Hooper there is doing. So let's see if we can get Kermit to... We'll see if he stands still at the mailbox. Hooper's come back to where he's supposed to be standing the whole time, but let's go ahead and help him see if it works anyway. Some of these little critters just really have their own mindset. Maybe we'll have him walk in and out of his shop. Where is he at? Come here, you. Oh, he can't go in? I thought he'd beat the collision thing. Well, at least he ain't flying around on me. How's Kermit doing? He's standing still. Like I said, some of them behave. Though I find it interesting he's not acknowledging the presence of another character they usually turn and face. Brown Bat's in the house. What's up, buddy? That NICEF audit, man, what a pain in the ass that is, isn't it? Can't stand that thing. If I never see another one of those audits again, I have no idea what that is, but it sounded good in the moment. I appreciate you stopping by. For those of you out there, I'm sure if you're watching this channel, you've already seen the other channels, but just make sure you do. Pop H has got a great channel going on, as does that Brown Bat, and so many others. We got 72 Pringle out there. We got Lion THD out there. The Bowtie guys out there. How do I want to fix this little dilemma? Well, I guess we can bring the path in a little closer. Properties again, behavior, path, we want him to go back and forth. We're going to try one more thing here, because if the path ain't even keeping him in place, my lord. We're going to delete that. Now we're going to put it back on. So it should memorize. There we go. That'll work. Let's slow it down a little bit so it doesn't look like he's dancing so much. Path. We'll make it 10%. There you go. Now he's just having himself a stroll. Like I said, Kermit's behaving. I spoke too soon. Soon as I said it, right? Let's lay the road down, shall we? Lion, THD, and Bowtie are all watching. There you go. This is why we have a great community. All right, I need... what do I need? The racing? Ground? Nope, nope, nope. It's up here somewhere. Racetrack. Thank you. We are not going to do any racing. We just want a road. Where we're going, we don't need roads. Do we have anything more narrow? Well, that's kind of unfortunate. All right, it'll work. Then we're going to need our four-way intersection. So, fun fact, if you didn't know, Sesame Street is supposed to be in New York City. Not liking that one. Where's the other one? Was it this? I don't think so, no. Let's see. No, definitely not. I thought it was this one, but is there another? Yeah, this is probably it. Well, also not exactly, but better. I thought there was a simple black top with the dotted lines on it that didn't look as wonky as that does. Slot car. Wrong again. Maybe I can get away with just finding a different intersection piece that looks better. Or was this it? Yeah, I think that's what I was looking for. Toy box roads. Yes, that's what I was looking for. I knew it was in there. Now that looks like New York. Yeah, these clouds are going to be perfect. We're going to use those for getting around and collecting the objects up. Still going to have to figure out the whole memory game and how that's going to play out. And as tempting as it is, I don't think this is going to make it. I'm going to leave it for the moment. I'm going to do a little bit of homework on how to play the piano and see if it's feasible or not. F sharp, G flat. Wow, look at all this. Default octaves. Oh, piano. What other instrument choices do we have? Trumpet, bassoon. Okay, I guess we're going to stick with piano. I will throw something down here to stand on so I can test this out later on. Which means I need terrain. Or, yeah, terrain be easier. I feel like Tom Hanks in Big. Oh, way over there? I used to know how to play Jump on the keyboard by Van Halen. And if I had a keyboard in front of me, I could monkey around with it enough to get the chords down. And if I saw the chords in front of me, I might be able to make it out of this mess. I'm not so sure about that part. And what is this gadget here doing? Anything? So why do they have these question mark toys in here that don't apparently have any purpose? That's kind of the opening part of Sesame Street. Dun, dun, wait, dun, 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 dun. Sunny days. Gonna leave it here for a little bit. Later on, I will look some videos up and see. I would say there's about a 30% chance that's going to make it into this level. But never say never. Oh, that's what I was looking for, by the way. Hold that thought a minute. Go back. He's standing still again at the spot that he keeps leaving. There's no Oscar the Grouch. I'm so disappointed now. Question is, who can I, who can I use in the role of now playing Oscar the Grouch? Well, he is green. And I'm wondering if this will work the way I was hoping it would, which is going to be popping up on a path creator. But if it's going to collide with that thing, then that may not work. Also, let's see if there's another option. How rude. Ferb didn't get a figure. Phineas, Agent P. It even says Phineas and Ferb, but Ferb didn't get a figure. Oh, there you go. That's Oscar. Just put it down for now. All right, let's go ahead and see if this is going to work the way I'm hoping it does. Oh, and by the way, that is going to be Snuffleupagus. Leave him back there for now. Mr. Snuffleupagus. I remember when they first introduced that character. That's how friggin' old I am. Remember the episode. Not the whole episode, I just remember him part of it. Can't line this up exactly with the can, but that's not an issue. I don't think this is going to work. And I already think it didn't work. Our bantha's making a lot of noise. Yeah, that was a defective path creator there. I was thinking he'd be able to pop his head up into the can. But I'm starting to think that that probably won't happen. But let me see, where did he go? Where's the little bugger at? Kermit's still where he's supposed to be. You'll be fine. And where did he go? Got Kermit, you got Mr. Hooper. Wonder if he walked off the edge. Oh, there he goes. There he goes. Come here, bugger. Kermit, what did I tell you? And you broke my fire hydrant. Okay, he's there. But popping up is not really something he's doing, but let me see if I can get him. Properties, 20 bucks path. Can't do that. Thinking here. Properties on the path itself. Speed loop active. 2D character movements. Thank you, Bowtie. Appreciate it. Visual effects. Auto start with object. No. I thought there was a way to offset things on the path through the path. I know you can normally with the objects, but in this case, no, that's not happening either. We've got to find a way to get Oscar to come out of a garbage can, even if it's not that garbage can. Maybe you have to create something that looks like a garbage can with one of the circular objects, although those things would be enormously large for a garbage can. Or maybe I could just have him appear. I gotta think this through. Because that garbage can right there is on the path grader to get it in the position it's in, so it's really close to the wall and kind of intermixed with some of the garbage going on back there. So if I take it off the path, it'll be able to line up with the character, and I can have him kind of appear on top of it. And at least it'd be lined up that way. This is one of those moments where I'm going to kind of walk away from it right now, and the next time when I come back, I'll have a clear head and think of maybe a couple of different possibilities. We don't have a big bird either, I just realized. Oh my goodness. I thought they had more characters than just this. Heck, that's not even Mr. Hooper. I'm borrowing him. No street sign. No, man, why'd they spend all that money on Disney or on Sesame Street and then not have nothing for it? Matter of fact, I can tell you this thing is definitely going to go because I still have... How are we doing on logic? Yeah, that memory is really... I mean, I'm sure I'll still have enough. I'm going to be putting, like, city buildings back down here as well to kind of fill around the back. These I'm all done with now. I don't need these anymore. That'll give us a little bit of that memory back. Don't be messing up my scaffolding. All right, I think for right now, I'm going to call it on this one. Let's go ahead and back it up. No Ernie, no Bert. I was actually thinking about making their basement apartment. All right, that's all saved. The pigs in spaceship. That was a really clever idea. I don't know that it's going to work on this toy box. It might. I'm still trying to figure out how I want to do this memory game. That's going to be my next trick. The collecting thing will be easy. That's going to be a no-brainer, simple. And then I still got to build out the background here to make it look a little bit more city-like in the backdrop, so you're not just seeing wide open air back there. But this was the vision I had right here, was getting the main building where they all live in. And Oscar's garbage can, of course. And then that little back section here. And again, this is based off of, I don't know what year exactly it was like 76, I think, because they were saying it was a 10-year anniversary, and it started in 66. So this is kind of the way the set was looking back then. And this back area was a little bit more of an almost rounded corner kind of going on. Being in a sound stage will do that to you. Street sign, man, I cannot believe there isn't one single street sign. All right. Well, again, for day one, I'm good with this. This gives us a solid building block to build upon. Creating a little back office area from the Muppet Show with Kermit and Miss Piggy. That's fun. I know there was talk about making the Muppet Show stage. I don't see me doing that, though. But one of you other creative sons of guns, go out there and do it. All right, I think that's going to wrap it up on this one for today. I might come back and do another stream as I start putting some of the logic in. It'll give me some time to think about how I want to do the memory portion of this challenge that I plan to do. But that's not happening right now, so. Okay, thank you for joining me. For those of you who stopped in person, those of you who are just watching and didn't comment, that's perfectly fine too. Some folks just like to watch. Some of you may be at work and you can't comment. I get it. But thanks for being here nonetheless. Those of you on Twitch, this is kind of the game that I'm going to be focusing on for a little while now. Even though I did pick up The Witcher 3, that's probably going to be a little bit down the road. I've never played that yet, but it gets rave reviews from every gamer in the world, and I feel like I'm the last one to play it, so that's going to happen. And then we've also got the Star Wars. What do we got? For the PS3. The Force. What does it say here? Okay, let's see if the lighting is so bad right now. Yeah. That one. So we got that. And we got that. Coming up in the not too distant future. And that's all I got for right now. So thanks for stopping by. Thanks for joining me. We'll be back with more stuff here when we are once again under construction. And I remind you, as I do each and every time, that Disney Infinity is the game where the only limitation is your imagination. And in the near future, big surprise coming up. Probably not that big a surprise, but big announcement coming up. We'll go with it that way. So stay tuned. Make sure you are subbed. Make sure you have notifications on so you will be the first to see the video when it goes live. In the meantime, have a great rest of your day and see you real soon.
Building